Oh
Oh
shit.
shit! I didn't even realize that. Yeah, the matching hats and the Giants basketball jersey is.
Hold up. I got one more for you. I got one more for you.
What do you? I was gonna.
Oh, okay.
I petite.
Yeah, boy.
All
All
right.
right, roll
Free
it.
Patino, New York.
Yeah, Chris and Dylan on the mic, straight from Queens Truth. Podcast game strong, Jets, Knicks, Rangers, Murph, Mets and Yankees, dream Bronx to shade. In the city that never sleeps, sports don't play. NY faithful, we're repping our teams. Jets fly high and up and down both trains. From courts to fields, can't walk away. Queens talk sports each and every day. Chopped cheese breakfast, bagels by noon. Pizza slice nights over New York tune. Game stats fly while the meatball simmers. Chris with the takes, Dylan drops singers. Microphones buzzing like city lights. From Knicks brick shots to Rangers fights. Taste of NYC in every fight. Chris and Dylan, sports talk ignite.
Welcome to the Any Sports Podcast. We'll talk about anything at any given time, but
The main focus is always New York.
What's up, fellas?
What up? What up? What up? You honestly gave me the idea of making a cup of coffee, and I was like, "That's a good idea."
I'm left out now. Shit.
I made.
Last time
What
it was Black
kind of
Panther,
coffee?
now it's Groot.
What kind of coffee are you drinking?
Made myself a lavender latte.
Okay, cool.
Whoa, okay.
I made a rich chocolate flavored coffee.
Oh,
Rich.
Fire.
you guys are both
Is that Rich Paul's cousin?
Yeah. It is. Yeah, rich chocolate.
That's his Dominican cousin.
Hell yeah. So what's up? What's up, fellas? How's everything going? Welcome
focus
back.
I can't focus
It's
on
been-
anything except the Giants basketball jersey. My eyes go to that every time. I don't know if it's because the arm shit is not the same as the collar, and that's throwing me right now.
listen, I couldn't find a white shirt for
Oh,
long sleeve
great!
shirt, right?
It's so great in the worst way.
You should see it. You should see him with it with no shirt underneath. It's even better.
Oh, that's peak. That's peak.
And the guns are out, and it's over for you. It's
That's
night time.
That's for when we get big enough and we do like a live beach bash party like ESPN.
Hell yeah. Now we're talking.
We're gonna do MTV's Spring Break.
I can't believe we both.
That's a great fucking idea.
That would be great.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. All right, yo, it's been 2 fucking weeks. We've
Had a lot going on personally.
we've grieved enough.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about?
We've grieved enough.
That's how much I've gotten. That's how much I've gotten past it.
Yeah.
We're
We're at a point.
the sausage tacos.
The sausage Johnny tacos are fucking done.
It's
Unfortunately.
you know it's not SJT, right?
Yeah, but I like sausage Johnny tacos
Okay.
better than sausage taco Johnny's, and that's why our hats are upside down, because that's basically the way the team was in the last game they played. Yeah, right there. There you go.
Wait, why does it? Oh, mine's
Because-
mirrored. Yours shows up correct.
Oh shit! Yeah, mine is a little. Mine is snudge to.
Such a great hat though.
It
Shout out.
looks good for me.
Who was
On
it?
my screen, everything looks
Big
good.
Nick energy. Big Nick energy.
It was
Shout out
Big
to
Nick
them.
Energy, right? Yeah.
You already know. We Patino, New York all day.
I've ordered way too much St. John's gear since the Big East tourney victory. So, and I didn't get to tell you guys, so I'll say it here on the pod. So I went a little nuts with putting offers in on hats, lowball offers, and I told you guys that personally that I won the old school Redmond snapback. Well, I also forgot that I bid it on this other item, and it's another St. John's hat. So you get us kicked off. I'll pull it up. Hold on.
All right. So honestly, how are we feeling after that game?
Man, it was a depressing game, but you gotta think about how things have been. Yeah, I'm at the point where I'm looking at the bright side now.
Putting it into perspective.
Yeah, it's in perspective now. In the moment, I was like, "This sucks." Like I really thought they were going to be able to pull it out. I was sitting with my in-laws, trying to move back into my house and trying not to act like I hated the world. But now I'm at the point where,
Ooh.
dude. Oh, that is nice.
So it's navy blue with the red St. John's throwback.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Yeah.
But sorry, continue, bud.
Wanted $100 for it originally.
Damn, how the fuck? What did you drop him down to?
Half.
Nice.
I'm good at what I do.
My services are still full price.
No bartering there.
No
No,
bargains.
because
But anyways, please continue.
No, dude, the last 25 years have been dog shit for St. John's. So, this is a great year, man. It's a stepping stone. It's only part one. It's a step on the way there to being a perennial, contender. And, the news today of getting that transfer from Arizona State, former 5-star, I believe guard or small forward.
Was it confirmed that we got the big man from, what was it, Providence?
No, not confirmed, but he's visiting this weekend.
Ah, okay.
That whole situation's weird because he left. He put himself in the transfer portal, but he put a do not contact note on his however it works. I don't know exactly how it works.
But his phone
basically, basically he's like, don't contact me. I have my teams already. So he's visiting. He's only visiting Georgetown and St. John's.
That's a really easy decision.
Easy.
I don't know why
hopefully we get him.
You're only going to Georgetown for the history, I guess, because
you're
not even sniffing us.
Yeah, but Ed Cooley, man. Ed Cooley's a good coach.
He is. I don't give a shit. We have more money and a better coach.
That is very true.
Speaking of
for those of you that don't know the name of the guy that we just landed, Josin Sanan. I think that's how you say his name.
That sounded perfect, honestly. That's better than the attempt I probably would have put out there.
So I want to just real quick. The fucking transfer portal is insane. Not the concept of it or anything, which is a whole nother topic. But I'm talking more about the fact that the transfer portal fucking opened during the round of 16.
It's like they're trying to tank their popularity.
It's such a bad look, and it's such a bad way of doing business. And how the fuck in what world is that the right? You know what? Yeah, we should open it up between round of 32 and the Sweet 16. You have fucking Scottie Pippen Jr. committing to another school while his team is in the fucking Sweet 16.
He's still in. It doesn't make any sense.
Please make it make sense. This shit is confusing as hell to me because, oh my god, seeing that, just the Scottie Pippen one alone, because that's probably the most prime example. I don't think there's any other big name at a school that's in it still. But yeah, that was...
There are guys that posted 5 minutes after getting beat, but but that's at least a little bit better than doing it while you're still in the tournament.
You basically just said to your teammates, I don't give a shit what happens. I'm out of here, y'all.
Yeah, basically.
Such a bad look. And if we lose Brady Dunlap, I'm going to be butthurt. Because he was a good shooter, but also his bench presence was fucking legendary this season.
It was.
Who, Dunlap?
Yeah.
Dunlap was hysterical.
His sellies were hilarious.
My man dropped to the ground and went, bah, bah.
He did the swimming. They did so many.
Mm-hmm. He's a good vibes guy, but at the same time, I get it though. He wants to play, and he might
play next season.
He's going to play, but he's not going to be a starter.
I think
if he's a starter on this team, something went wrong.
Who's our starters right now with getting, let's say, the Arizona State kid and let's just assume we get the Providence kid, because I'll be absolutely fucking shocked if he doesn't choose us.
So you're looking at what would it be? Either Jaden Glover or Wiltshire at the one.
Kadari's a senior.
Kadari's a senior. He's gone. Kid from Arizona State would be your 2.
Yeah.
RJ would be your 3.
Is Io a point or more of a shooting guard?
I want to say more of a shooting guard.
Also 2. Okay.
Would Scott be your 4 and then Zuby be your 5? I'm guessing.
That's a 3.
Scott's gone.
Scott's gone.
Yeah, he's done anyway. Yeah.
He's a grad transfer, man.
Zuby is obviously your 5.
He's transferring, or he's
no, he was a graduate student.
I was gonna say I thought he was up there too.
Yeah,
RJ's a junior.
Your kid from Providence would be whose name I'm blanking on, but he would be your 4.
Wasn't he big or just no? He's not a 5.
He's definitely not a 5. He's listed as a power forward.
Huh.
He's a scorer, man. He's much more of a scorer than a true power forward. He might even play some small forward. The problem with him is that he just has been injured so much. But when he played, dude, it's the weirdest stats I've ever seen. The 3 games he played this past season, he scored double digits in all of them, in all under 35 minutes. Per game. One of the games he scored 17 in 28 minutes.
So I got the guy's name.
We need 3
Okay.
point shooters, though. We need at least 1 or 2 of them.
Bryce Hopkins.
Bryce Hopkins, yeah.
Which honestly it sounds more like a boxer name than a basketball player.
That sounds like a white kid.
It does sound like it sounds like a white kid. It sounds like a white kid with a black father. That's just what it is. That's it.
He sounds like he could be friends with Brady Dunlap.
He sounds like he could be friends with Bronny James.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But listen, I wanna ask you guys, because you guys are the OG. Dill, you're an alum, and Matt, you've been a fan for fucking God knows how fucking.
I just want to say, Matt and I have been OG. Like, we are true OGs because we effectively grew up next to St. John's.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like
connected to the school as we could fucking get. We had family go there.
Right. I feel like you guys both are the reason that I got into St. John's basketball.
That's pretty obvious.
And obviously, but since I've known you guys have always talked St. John's basketball. Whether it's been good or it's been bad, you're always supporting the team. Now, I'm going to ask you both the same question.
There was a good 3-year stretch where I don't think we talked about them at all because it got that bad.
It got right. Well, it's just like the Jets. They've been seasons where they've been horrible.
I remember one of those bad years though. We were at some family get together, and I remember saying, "Matt, I was like St. John's," and he was like, "I was like, I know." We did not speak another word, and we went on to the next topic.
Yeah.
Oh shit. But yeah, from you guys' point of view, do you agree with Tino benching RJ?
I've been racking my brain about this.
About why, right? Because I tried to think
about if it was the right decision or not, because I can make it for both sides.
Well, he was having an off game, but he's still your star player. You know what I mean? If Brunson was having a bad game, would Tibbs sit him down? No.
It's also a different game, man, college.
Obviously it is, yeah.
You're talking about kids. Like,
yeah.
RJ Lewis is like 20 years old,
He's got to learn. He's got to learn.
Also, I want to say that the people coming after him that forced him to close down his social media account,
that's not right.
That's stupid. Like, come on.
What's wrong with you?
Absolutely, you should have your social media privileges revoked. That is absurd.
Yeah.
And if you ever wanted to see why New York State doesn't allow you to bet on college New York teams, this is exactly it.
That's your answer. Absolutely.
Insane, despicable. Like that was
yeah.
When I saw
that, it just made no sense. It made no sense as to why they went right for him when, in reality, they should have probably thought about it, did their research and their due diligence, and realized that it was probably a learning curve and a lesson that was Pitino's to teach, I guess.
That's tough, though, because there's no guarantee RJ comes back. He could declare for the draft. Matt and I spoke about this in the group chat, and I think it's way better if he comes back to St. John's because he's at his highest he's ever been right now, but like he's not even close to how much higher he could get his draft stock to be.
I actually saw on the ESPN put out like a pre-draft like big board, almost like they do for the NFL draft.
He's not a first.
And Zuby was at like 64, and I think RJ was at like 75.
Really? Wow.
So to me, like 70, if you were pushing like 40, 30, where like you got a shot to be a first round pick, like you go for it, man. But like I think 70 is like you're pushing not getting drafted.
Yeah. I don't think I see RJ making the NBA in some form or fashion 100%. Because
I agree with that.
He gives me vibes of like a couple role players, and I think he could really flourish on the right team. I don't think I was going to say something that might have been too hard. I was going to say I don't see Zuby as an NBA player, but what I really mean is I don't see him. He'd have to change his game a decent amount.
Yes, that's fair. And he's undersized to be a 5.
I see him as he's not like an asshole like Isaiah Stewart is, but I see him in that kind of like get in there and just fucking cause mayhem under the basket.
Yep.
But he's no more than like a third string big man kind of thing. Like he has a much harder path to carve out a
but he has a shot though. Like I think he does that on this team because he kind of has to. Like if he's not doing
they expect that from him.
They have guys that are going to make mid-range shots. They need that guy underneath. And honestly, he doesn't really get bullied by bigger players.
Mhm.
You know, I know it's different in the NBA, and there's going to be a huge learning curve for
But
him.
his
But
conditioning is also like he's one of the best conditioned big men
absolutely,
all of
he
college.
plays the whole game.
But what I'm more so getting at is what I just said, but also I could see scouts being like, yo, he makes dumb fucking decisions every now and then that are in very costly moments.
Yeah,
Like he had a huge turnover in which round was it in the Big East tournament where he hit the game winner? It was the semifinal, right? I think. And but
Yeah.
like if you look back, like the 1.5 minute mark, he made a really dumb fucking decision that was really costly. It just so happened that he got retribution and was able to make up for it, which happened a lot this season. That both game winners he had came off of not very much before him having a really stupid fucking turnover or whatever.
Mhm. You could also think the other side though, that he's a guy that can score around the rim, and it's not as easy as it sounds. You know, for an undersized guy, you know, he's had games where he's had 30 plus. Like, you know, it's you could also say it that way, that he can out rebound and outscore guys that are bigger than him.
The what did
I
he?
don't think he'll last as a full time. He'll probably be like a swing, like 4 or 5,
He's a
like
role
5 when you need him to. But he's going to be have to adjust to being a power forward.
Yeah, I see RJ Lewis carving out a little bit more of a legitimate
Yeah,
in the NBA.
I could see that.
Just because he can slash, he can hit the mid range. He started to hit the three decently well in the big tourney in the first round.
Take out that last game, yeah.
I still don't.
Nothing went right for him.
I really don't understand what happened. I've never seen a player who you could visibly see their mentality be completely different from one game to the next. Like, I have no idea who that was wearing that number 12 jersey. It was almost like Scooby-Doo mask. Like, there had to be somebody else under there because that was not RJ Lewis.
So that's the exact reason why I'm fine with Patino benching him. Dude, it's not because of the missed shots. Like, there's one thing I've learned this season specifically. Patino will not bench you for missed shots. He doesn't care about missed shots. He doesn't preach shit.
Than that.
Yeah, like if you're not doing the things that you're supposed to do and following the game plan that they have set up, like how many times did you text me like, why is he not passing to Zuby? Why is he not passing? Because he was trying to do too much.
But that was weird because he had a few
He was in business for himself and he made a mistake.
He would get the ball on the wing and Zuby be right there waiting for it.
Dude, they run a pick and roll for Zuby.
He would just be like, no, and do something else. And I'm just like, that's weird behavior.
They would run a pick and roll, and he would roll and be wide open, and he would try and slash. Which now that doesn't make sense because now you have Zuby in your way.
I think what you're alluding to is right. I think it's like the moment was just too big for him. He tried to be the hero. I think
that's exactly it.
It's almost like he tried to do too much without actually doing it. Because there was moments where he actually didn't do shit except make the wrong decision.
Yeah.
Like he would just make a simple pass look bad. So I think he got into his own head real bad. Yeah, who knows what else. But yeah, I don't mind, to get back to Chris's question, really long way of getting back to it. But I don't.
It's St. John's way, bro. We elaborate.
I don't mind the benching because I'm all for teachable moments. I don't mind the benching if he comes back next year.
If you're going to mind it if he goes straight to the NBA draft.
If you benched him for no real learning curve whatsoever, for your own benefit, I think that's a weird move. You have to have some inclination that like this dude might stay or might not stay. So I think
there hasn't been any like hype around it. I feel like him leaving.
No, I think
like you said, I just think he's just still too far out on that, comparatively.
If he has another Big East Player of the Year caliber season, whether he wins it or not, and next year goes off in the tourney and at least gets us to the Elite Eight, I think he becomes a second round, borderline first round pick to the right team.
I see a guy like Cam Jones from Marquette, and not that they're comparable players. He's a very good player. But he's going to be a first round pick because he had a great year and he's looked good all year. So now I feel like he could end up in that realm of player, Like I'm not saying that they're comparable players because they somewhat play the same. I think Cam Jones is probably a better shooter, but
definitely. I think
he can end up in that like 20 to 35, level. Maybe 20 is probably pushing it a little high, but 25 to 35 range.
I think the caliber of school also plays into it. I think now that St. John's is going to be more prominent and is going
I
to
agree
start
with
getting
that.
recruits and is going to start being more competitive, I think our players are going to garner higher draft selections.
Yeah,
Did you-
dude,
did you-
this year put us on the map, man.
Did
It's
you
gonna be
guys
different.
hear? Did you guys hear about the kid from Leicester that's transferring to college basketball now?
No.
His name's Engelbert Humperdinck.
Got
it. Ugh. I was like Googling on this side, like, where is he from?
You don't mean the McNeef manager that's making $100K and going with his coach to the next team they're going to?
Yeah, Amir Khan.
Dude, amazing. The kid makes $100K.
Or Amir Aura.
Oh,
Aura.
yeah.
Amir's a whore? What'd you say?
Amir Aura.
Horum.
No,
Aura.
not
No, my God. Aura.
Aura.
Oh, Aura.
Yeah.
Literally
Listen.
what we said.
Listen, it's not what you said. You said Aura, then you said Cora, then you said Gamora.
Aura.
Where's Gamora?
I am Groot.
But yeah, let's slide
I
back
just
on.
want to say, are you guys have high expectations for next season now?
Yes.
Yes. I don't know if the win total will be the same, but I want to be top 10 again next year. If we get both these players, well, it looks like we got the Arizona State kid, but if we get the kid from Providence, RJ and Zuby stay, I don't see why we're not ranked top 10 to start the year.
Oh, fact.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We would have to be, I think,
Also, sorry.
fluky game. It's Calipari. It's this is one of those. This is why I would have rathered Kansas. I think Zuby would have been even more hyped up for his former team, and I think it played out a lot better for us. That game was just bad news.
Arkansas was a very good 10 seed. The only reason they were a 10 seed is they started the season terrible.
Yeah. And I just want to point out that I mentioned this in the chat, but not here, that this was a bad way to lose because we didn't play our game the way we had played for 30, however many total games it was throughout the season in the Big East tourney. And that's what sucked about it, was losing not I'd rather lose by 20 and play our game and just get flat out beat than for us to beat ourselves and the other team. Arkansas didn't do shit to win that game. We completely lost it.
Yeah.
Well, they fouled the absolute shit out of us. We were only down 4 with a minute and a half, something like that.
The fact that RJ Lewis had 4 points and we were lost by just a couple of points she says everything you need.
That's the thing where it's like, do you keep RJ in and he gets like Jay Williams type magic in the last 3 minutes? Like, is that something that could happen? I don't know.
He probably didn't want to take that risk.
You could see it in his eyes that he was dazed, man. He just wasn't himself.
I don't think it was just shots not falling. I do not think his mentality was there. But I don't want to keep beating a dead horse. I don't want to keep beating off on a dead horse.
Whoa, hey, whoa. What the fuck did you just say?
What happened? I don't want to beat it.
Stop beating off dead horses. Let's keep talking basketball. We're gonna go from there to the NBA, obviously. The Knicks. The Knicks are they're not doing great right now.
Well, 5-4 so far since Brunson's been out.
Yeah, it's obvious.
We're winning by 3 right.
Obvious that they fucking need Jalen Brunson.
We need a lot. This is a weird team. Most times tonight we're
weirdos, dude.
Tonight we've looked pretty good against the Clippers. We're playing the Clippers right now with 3:15 left in the third, up 3. We have
also, side note, Matt, your brother fucking called me and goes, "Hey, he goes, hey, I got an extra ticket for the Knicks game." It's like, dude, it starts at 7:30. It's 7:00. How am I gonna get to Manhattan in a half hour?
I'm gonna get there by halftime. Who cares? You don't have to watch the whole.
No, fuck
free ticket,
free fucking game.
Yeah, he had an extra ticket, fucker.
You fucked up.
You would have told me an hour ago. I probably would have fucking canceled all plans, all recordings. I would have gone to the game.
He told me like 6:30. He's like, "Can you get on a train in like in a half an hour?" I'm like, "No, sorry."
I would have made it happen.
I could get on the train. I'm not going to go anywhere.
Exactly.
But, you know what I mean? But
the
Knicks are definitely showing.
Date for Jalen though.
What?
for Brunson? Is there a return date or not yet?
Not really. It's
I'm hearing mid-April.
he started doing
Okay.
some contact drills and stuff like that. Started doing some
Okay.
light stuff. It looks like he'll be back before the end of the season. My whole thing is like I want him to have at least 4 games before the playoffs, to shake rust off, get reacclimated with his teammates and all that stuff. If it's not that, then literally just hold him out until he's actually ready, whether we lose in the playoffs or not. Like, there's no point in bringing him back if he's not as close to 100% as possible.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I completely agree.
But yeah, they just look disjointed at times, and it doesn't, like, I'm not anywhere remotely near as excited for this year's team as I was last year. Last year we were a cohesive unit. We had dogs on our team. We had it felt
We
like
had Devo.
It felt like we had everything we needed for the most part. Yeah, it's just it's weird. This team doesn't do it for me so far, and I don't know if it's because I'm a little jaded or whatever because last year to this year and what's happened this year, but I don't know. Something doesn't feel like it's clicking tonight. Watching the first half of the game against the Clippers felt like the best flow and most fun they looked like they had in a while, especially since Brunson got injured. Right. And that was a good thing to see. That actually got me, right before getting on here, that got me a little bit excited, like, oh, maybe they're figuring it out and putting it together.
Right.
Now I really want to see what the next few games after this one look like, especially if we could win it, because the Clippers are no slouches. They're playing really well. They play really good.
Yeah, they are. Well, I like the whole dynamic of bringing in my guy Tyler Kolek.
Yeah,
I keep seeing on Twitter that
I like the way he plays.
He played last game and racked up like 7 assists in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No, he had 8.
The kid, yeah, he had 8 overall, but I'm saying like 7 of those came in like the third quarter or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Yep.
But yeah,
you know what I think of when I hear about Tyler Kolek?
Because
he was Marquette, right, last year or 2 years ago.
He was Marquette, right?
Yeah. I don't know why, but at the time there was just people would like bring signs and like it was on Twitter that people would just say like Tyler Kolek can't read, and like it was just like a way to get under his skin. I have no idea where it came from, but it's all I think about when I hear his name.
Hilarious. Maybe that's why he hasn't played more in the NBA.
Yeah, can't read.
They're trying to get his reading level up so he can
honestly
hit that first grade level, you know.
I feel like
able to read his teammates' jerseys so that he knows who the coach is saying to get the ball to.
I feel like telling somebody that they can't read when they're a fucking adult is just one of the most disrespectful.
Wild. Yeah, that's
like I remember.
Like,
I remember when
whether it's true or not.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember when 50 Cent told Mayweather that he couldn't read, and he told him to read a nursery rhyme.
Yep.
He
You
couldn't
might not be
fucking
able to.
read
That
it.
is fair. He's been punched in the head a lot.
I feel like
he actually can't read.
No, he literally can't. He has
That's
he has like brain trauma or some shit. But like, I think I would rather somebody tell me to go fuck myself than tell me that I can't read.
You know, on the flip side of that, in a real world scenario, I had a client tell me I sounded scared when I was trying to negotiate with them for a shoot. I told them I
sound scared.
Professionally told them to go fuck themselves.
That feels right.
So that's
Wait,
just wild.
What exactly did you say to them?
All I was doing was defending my because he didn't want to. So for all shoots, I require a deposit up front, and then I require payment. I require payment once the media is ready before delivery. I safeguard myself in every step of the shoot. 98% of clients all abide by this with no question whatsoever. It's this guy and the other
2%.
The other 2 or 3 guys I've dealt with in the last 5 to 7 years. Yeah, this guy was just not having. He's like, I've never paid for anything without seeing it before.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Where's he from? Mobile, Alabama?
Maybe he's definitely from the South, but he's
from that accent. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's just a manipulative dude. Whatever. I told him to go figure his stuff out and find someone else.
Kindly put your foot where the sun don't shine, son. Roll Tide. That's it. That's fucked up though. That's ridiculous.
Clippers.
But no. So going back to the Knicks. How do you feel about the whole Cat Draymond thing?
Oh, that was yeah. We haven't recorded in so long. We have a lot.
Bro,
I thought it was. It's very stupid, and the fact that Draymond won't just be like, "Yo, my bad, I was an asshole."
Draymond should not play basketball.
He's still a decent basketball player. That's besides the point. He's a shitty human being, is what he is.
He shouldn't be allowed on the court. Honestly, he's just a dick.
My biggest problem is like we all know he shit talks. He plays dirty sometimes.
Everybody shit talks and plays dirty back in the day, but like, I don't know.
But no, my biggest problem was that his teammates still dapped up Draymond after that last year's Knicks game.
Yeah, it was bad.
Everybody except who was it that didn't? Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson didn't dap Draymond up. He just left the court.
I figured I could see that whole not dapping up coming from PJ Tucker.
PJ Tucker wasn't with us then.
Right, but you know PJ Tucker wouldn't have dapped him up.
Oh yeah.
PJ Tucker would have walked right by him, bitch.
Even fresh on the team, he would have bought in and be like, "Yeah, you don't talk to my teammate like that."
Hell yeah, he would have bugged out.
Yeah.
No, but that to me is just disrespectful towards Cat.
But that's what's different between this year and last, because Devo would during the game. Julius Randle, he doesn't seem like the type of person that would back up his teammates like that, but he still would have played hard enough that Draymond would have had to worry about him.
Devo would have thrown hands.
Mm-hmm.
Devo definitely would have thrown hands.
Would have got up in someone's grill. Yeah, it would have been a different story.
Honestly, listen, I completely agree with you. I miss the attitude that the Knicks team had last year.
Yeah,
because we were just rude. We were sarcastic. We were just nasty. Like you're fucking with us. You're fucking with the whole place. That's it.
People said repeatedly last year, when you play the Knicks, and this was for last year's team specifically, when you play the Knicks, you come into Madison Square Garden and you get beat with metal baseball bats for 48 minutes. Because we would just beat the shit out of. Wow, the game has turned. The Clippers are now up 10. I don't know what the hell happened, but but I just want to point out, Deuce is not a point guard, and thankfully he's injured right now, so Tibbs could see who should be the backup point guard, because Deuce is just an undersized 2 guard and should never play point guard again. I've been saying this for like 3 years now. He cannot create offense or conduct offense. It's not his game. That shit needs to stop. I just needed to put that out there. It should be Cap, and then when Brunson comes back, he should be backed by Payne, a combo of Payne and Kolek, depending on who the matchup is.
I like Payne off the bench. He's
Payne's
good.
energy is fantastic. He comes in with an attitude, and in a good way, and I love it.
Payne reminds me of like a condor. You ever seen a condor? Like the way a condor's head. Fucking, he has a small neck and a big head. You ever notice that? Like,
there's a Disney like animated movie from back in the day. Wasn't there a condor in one of them?
Yeah, it was fucking. Was it Jungle Book?
Yeah, I don't remember honestly.
Yeah, well, it's the 2 condors on the branch,
and
they're talking to each other. Yeah, I think that was Jungle Book. I think so.
All right, before we get off basketball, I just want to ask, and Matt, you may be able to chime in on this just because of the interesting part of this. So I don't know if you saw that the Celtics were sold.
No.
Yeah, so the Celtics got sold this past week for
who?
Some wealth fund management company, like every team is sold to nowadays.
Right.
Record high for any North American sports franchise, $6.1 billion. Yeah, and that's. Okay. That's the Celtics, so God forbid whatever the Knicks or the Yankees or whoever can command.
The Yankees, I saw, got it.
it was Jungle Book and their vultures, by the way.
The Yankees have to get like upwards of like 15, 20.
Their valuation right now is $8 billion, but what they'd actually sell for is probably higher.
Yeah.
The Yankees
you get to a point of like who could actually
$8 billion?
That's what their valuation is, but what they'd actually sell for is probably double.
Yeah.
We're being honest. But
that's fucking insane.
So honestly, the Celtics sold for that much. They are actually one of the worst run franchises in basketball from a money standpoint. They don't make money at all. They also it's wild. This is even crazier though. The people who bought the Celtics bought just the team. The Celtics don't own TD Bank Garden.
What?
That's the biggest thing with a sports franchise, is that you also get the dirt, so you could fucking do events and shit in the days you don't have games. No,
They just
Who
own the
owns it?
team.
Celtics. Yeah, they only bought the team. They
The
don't.
city owns it.
They don't. No, the Bruins own the stadium.
The hockey team
Which
owns
is
the stadium.
hilarious.
That's a
Wait,
joke,
do they
right?
play in the same? Do they play in the same place?
Yeah, they play at TD.
They play at the TD?
TD Garden.
That's insane.
I actually never knew that the Bruins played at TD Garden. I definitely
either.
didn't know that they owned it. That's actually wild to me, to pay that much money and not have any real estate or any
That's insane.
backup business plan besides just the basketball team.
Yeah.
Insane.
So that
listen.
you just hiked up everyone's valuation in the NBA, because all these other teams, for the most part, own the dirt that the team plays under.
Yeah.
Well, now you're saying that they sold for 6.1. The Yankees are worth how much?
8.
Apparently 8.
8. So with that, we're going to switch right into baseball. The Yankees
What a
are
terrible transition.
dog shit. The Yankees are dog shit, and everyone's saying that they're going to take the fucking AL East. That's bullshit.
Dude, I gotta be honest, with losing Cole, I don't even know that they win the division anymore. I don't know
No,
if
they're gonna be a wild
they'll
card
be a playoff
slipping.
team.
You guys are
They'll
shitty
be a
cousins.
playoff team.
No, we're just
They're gonna,
we're truthers.
I'm kidding.
They will be a playoff team.
They will be a playoff team, but it's going to be a wild card
You
slipping.
gotta-
I'm telling you right
You
now.
got to think too that Boston got significantly better.
Yeah, they did.
Toronto got better.
Baltimore got better.
I would say Baltimore took a slight step
I
back.
was going to say, I don't
You
think
think so?
Burns. Yeah, they lost Burns, but they also have a bunch of young kids.
Plateau, if anything. I think they.
You're going to need guys like Kauser and what's the other one? Gunner's a really good one, right?
Gunner's not going to start the season.
No?
He's hurt.
Or no, Jackson Holiday. That's who I'm thinking.
Jackson Holiday is
Guys like that are really going to have to
also
step up.
didn't know his father was Matt Holiday.
Yeah.
No fucking idea. And I was like,
You
I was
saw
like,
the
yo, his
last name and
swing-
you didn't remotely.
No, I
Hey,
figured
is that
he had. No, I figured he had some tie to him, but I didn't know it was his son. So
Yeah.
I figured I was like, maybe it's his uncle or like a brother, an older brother or something. But like they have very similar swings.
You thought that would be his older brother.
You never know, bro. I don't know how people fuck. I don't know how people fuck, bro. I don't know. You know, but honestly, I don't think I've been this excited for baseball since 2015.
Hell yeah.
Truly, I have not been. Don't get me wrong. 2024 was
Chris.
probably one of the greatest years in Mets history.
Did you see the official 26-man roster?
No, send it to me. Where is it?
Came
Tell
out
me
today.
Beatty's on it.
Beatty is on it, and so is
Let's
Acuna.
Yes.
And the guy I'm really excited about, man, Max Kranick, made it.
No way.
Made the team. Grew up a Mets fan. He was unhittable.
That's fire.
Paul Blackburn started the year on the IL with some knee tightness. I think they just wanted to get the guys on, and they don't really need a fifth. The way the schedule works out, they don't really need a fifth starter for like the first 2 weeks. So
That
they were
almost
like,
sounds like
Blackburn,
starting
go
the
take a
season.
rest.
It almost sounds like starting the season with Russell Wilson being injured and letting Justin Fields do his thing.
But yeah. So you said Beatty and Acuna are in. Kranick is in. So
Yeah.
I think, Matt, that you need to start talking more about Acuna and my personal favorite, who is obviously going to have another blowout year, Alvy. I think you need to
Okay.
talk about it because you spoke wonders about Brett Beatty.
I'm
I
sorry.
thought you were about to say Beatty.
Wait,
And I was like, are you taking my take right now? Matt?
hold on. I'm
No,
sorry. You said blowout, and it just reminded me. I was listening to ESPN radio. I don't know if it was yesterday or earlier today, but there was a guy who called up, and they were talking about the Giants because a lot of Giants fans, which we'll get to, are almost numb. They don't really care that Russell Wilson was signed or whatever. But the guy was like, "Yeah, I don't know what the Giants are doing. I don't think there's
I
many
don't
other.
know what the Giants are doing.
I don't think that. No, these
You
are the people.
sound,
that call
you sound like a
ESPN radio.
Giants fan.
It's fucking incredible, the people that call ESPN radio. But yeah, the guy was like, I don't think there's many teams worse than the Giants. I don't think there's many teams out there that could outblow us. and the hosts were like, "Buddy, what'd you just say?"
Jesus Christ!
Oh my god, that's just sorry.
Whoever that guy is, he needs to get off radio.
Absolutely hilarious. If anybody listens to ESPN radio out there, there's a guy that shows he calls every show now throughout the day.
There's always a couple.
Richard from Manhattan. He's like a dentist.
Richard from Manhattan.
That's how he comes on to every show. It's Richard from Manhattan, and he just spews out some bullshit from like the 50s that nobody knows what the hell he's talking about, and it's hysterical. Anyway, go on.
Richard from Manhattan is a dick.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, Matt, you spoke wonders about Brett Beatty and said he was going to have a blowout year that was going to just be phenomenal. He was going to make the opening day roster. He was going to hit hard in spring training. Yo, it's like, please manifest that I'm going to win the lotto and Dylan is going to get a growth spurt. Because this is just...
That's short.
Sorry, I love you. I'm kidding. I wanted to say something else. I'm a short king. You don't fucking... You have to just embrace it.
By the way, I need you to down almost 20 now.
I need you to start talking about more players because obviously you have the magic word. I was going to say magic tongue and I was going to say a sound. I was going to sound like Richard from Manhattan. But, dude, Brett Beatty is fucking playing lights out right now.
Yes, and he's looking good second, too, honestly, in the field.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely.
Not like spring training magic. This is something that'll definitely carry into the season.
It could be. That's the problem. We just don't know.
That's why I don't want to get hyped up yet. Right.
It's happened with him before. Granted, he's never been this good in spring training, but he just looks confident, man. I think people forget that he was a first-round pick. He was a top 100 prospect. Like, the guy's got endless talent. Like, you got to give it some time. And I know he's been up and down a lot and, like, you know, injured in this, but, like, at-bat-wise in his career, he doesn't have that many. It's not like he's been here for years straight through and it's just not working.
He hasn't gotten the opportunity.
It's not like a Travis D'Arnaud situation where he's been here for years and it's just not catching on. Maybe I'm underestimating how bad he was. I don't know, but he wasn't that bad. But he just wasn't the guy that you thought he was going to be.
I thought he wasn't terrible.
I know it was going to be way better.
Yeah, same. And honestly, that's where we're at with Alvey right now too. Granted, he's still young, but he keeps getting injured, man. He just can't stay healthy, and they're all hand injuries, which is not for a catcher, man. That's bad.
Terrible.
That's rough. And I hope they don't rush him back. There is no rush. We got time.
We don't need to rush him back. There's no need. You know, the excitement of obviously Soto, you know, the Mets being the Mets, gracing the Sports Illustrated cover
that was cool.
Fucking awesome. They looked so cool together. Like they looked comfortable. They looked united. You know, I feel like the chemistry that was 2024 is going to go right into 2025.
It'll be different, but it's going to be good.
Yeah. Definitely no OMG. Definitely no, you know.
Dude, if the Padres start doing OMG, I'm going to lose my mind. Iglesias is on the Padres.
Trying to be polite and raise my hand. Is this still definitely Lindor's team, or does it automatically become like Soto's team?
It is Lindor's team.
You sound like you're underwater. Try again.
It is
that happens
Lindor's team.
It is Lindor's team. It should.
Yeah, it's weird. Soto's the best player.
But Lindor is the captain. In my opinion, he's the captain.
I think that's where Soto thrives, is when he's not the captain, or he's not the lead off hitter.
Because look at him when he was in the Yankees.
He's not that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Look at him when he was with the Yankees. Obviously, all the attention was on fucking Judge, and Soto hit 40 home runs and fucking led him to the fucking World Series.
Yeah, like also,
there was no pressure. There was no pressure.
I don't know if you guys noticed this during, like, you know, when he was trying to sign and stuff. Like, whenever like they'd put a camera in front of him and they started asking questions, he looked so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
that he was just trying to get through this. And then you see him like talking with other people. He's so animated and like lively. And then like they put him in front of cameras. Like,
it's almost like when Kanye gets the camera pointed to him and he's like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like, straight stone face.
Sorry,
Lindor can be that guy now.
Wait,
just like Judge was for him on the Yankees.
Did you hear the story of like what really happened with the negotiations and stuff with Soto and from
the story,
and everything? And so apparently, Steve Cohen gave his offer to Boris right at the beginning of free agency. Boris was like, dude, you're not even in the ballpark.
Fucking Boris, bro.
Steve Cohen goes, okay, cool, I'm out. Straight up Shark Tanked him. So Boris sends him an email and tries to get him back in and is like, hey, I see the value in you guys. I just wanted to let you know that a lot of teams are going to be here. Just wanted to get you back into a reasonable standing within the negotiations, everything. So that being said, apparently the Yankees were the front runners the whole time to start free.
Yeah.
Apparently Soto did not want to leave the Yankees. The Yankees straight up just did not give him as much of the time of day as the Mets did. Like the Mets were just way more involved, way more hungry to get him, and that's really what led to it. Soto apparently they had like a meeting, a sit down with Soto and Cohen and whatnot, and it went horribly. And Steve Cohen was like, he sent out an email like the next day. It was like, hey man, great meeting yesterday. And Steve Cohen was like, the fuck, like what are you? That was the worst meeting.
He said that was the worst meeting I ever had.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I just thought it was. I thought it was very interesting and very enlightening. And apparently the family stuff never happened.
No. The family stuff never happened. But what did happen was this. Obviously, we know Alex Cohen and Steve Cohen are Met fans. Alex Cohen's father, though, diehard. Like, diehard to the point where he is the Mets grandpa. Mm. They titled him the Mets grandpa. They did a sit-down at Steve Cohen's LA home. And Steve Cohen brought his whole family. He brought his son. He brought his father-in-law. Told Juan, bring your family to my house. I want to have dinner. I want to have some conversations, get to know you more, show you what we're really about.
That would have that invitation alone would have won me over.
Dude, Alex Cohen's dad starts chopping it up in Spanish with Juan Soto, Puerto Rican to Dominican, good shit, right? Soto goes,
you don't have that with the Yanks, a bunch of white dudes.
No. Soto goes, what kind of food are we having? He goes, we're having Spanish food. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, we're having Dominican food, we're having Puerto Rican food, rice and beans, steak, all this shit. So he felt at home, right? Yeah. As the dinner is ending, Alex Cohen's dad, Slick, loved this about him. He goes, hey, so are you coming to Queens or what? Like, just straight up told him. And Alex Cohen looks at him. She goes, he's not going to tell you, Dad. He's like, you can't ask him that. He goes, oh, no. He already made his decision. Don't worry. He'll be here. Dude.
That's awesome.
Like, he was so confident after that one dinner that he knew Juan Soto was going to come to Queens. It was just it. Mm. The aspect of family is so important to Juan Soto, and he even said that in his press conference. He was like, the way that the Cohens and the Mets organization and David Stearns treated my family really resonated with my decision to come to Queens and sign with the Mets.
What's funny is that, like, the Yanks could have had it so easy.
All you had to do was give them $800 million.
Well, no, they were close with the money, but they just didn't. They operated like they're the Yankees. Like, everybody gets treated the same, and I get it. To a point, I respect that. But at the same point, it's like, also...
I don't get it, man.
Also,
See, here's the thing.
So I understand, like, we operate a certain way, and we've done it forever. Kind of, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, first of all, this is a different age. You're not the Yankees anymore. You've kind of been shit for a long time. And I know you've been competitive. You've been in the playoffs, but let's call a spade a spade. But also, it's kind of like you kind of need to do what you need to do to get the best team on the field, and you just blatantly didn't. So basically, as the Yankees doesn't work anymore.
Right. Basically, the way that I saw it was they treated it like if it was the 90s Yankees. Mm. And you had one guy, and one guy was treated better than everybody else, which used to be Jeter. And now that guy is Aaron Judge. And they didn't want to give the same treatment that Aaron Judge got to Juan Soto. They didn't show that want to keep him. They showed him a fucking blank check, and they told him $760 is what we can give you. But there's no way that any former Yankee manager, George Steinbrenner, would have allowed to lose Juan Soto to the Mets for $5 million. There's no fucking way.
Well, it wasn't the money at the end of the day. I get it.
Obviously, no. But I'm saying, if that would have been the case, that would have been completely resolved by Steinbrenner, by OG Steinbrenner.
No, yeah, he would have snapped his fingers and went over by $30 million.
Right.
Yeah.
But as far as like familial ties and making them feel at home and welcomed, that's never been the Yankee way.
It kind of bugs me that it doesn't play any role that right next to Citi Field is a complete shithole.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
not for long though.
Yeah,
anymore.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's a more recent thing where, like, they're gonna do some
The
of
city approved their casino plans.
I can't
Dude.
fathom driving to work and it just be that next to where I play.
Yeah.
That would drive me nuts. I'd be like, this is where I fucking go to work.
Yep. Hey, listen, it's Citi Field. You come for a beer, a hot dog, and a flat tire.
You know what? Mets almost had me, and then they decided to get rid of the rainbow cookie, whatever the fuck it was that I never got to try.
The rainbow cookie egg roll.
Not
Hold up.
How do you get rid of that after one season?
No, we're gonna have a little side segment for about 5 minutes about this because guess what? The Mets, Citi Field, named best baseball food for 3 years in a row. Kid,
fire.
Big Beach is back.
Do you know? Yeah. Do you know what we just added?
What? Well, we got a tiramisu in a helmet.
Fuck your tiramisu in a helmet because no one with a white
Who
jersey is
wants
gonna eat
that?
that.
By Christian.
Nobody's
Petroni.
gonna. That's a mess, bro. Watch this. I'm gonna just give you. I'm gonna give you a little spiel real quick, okay? Quick spiel. Okay. Number one, we have a halal truck.
That's fire.
I saw that.
Number one.
That's awesome.
Number two, we have what is it called? Tomahawk steaks, kid.
That one makes no fucking sense. How do you eat a tomahawk steak?
That's at the restaurant.
No, you can't. You get them to walk around.
I hope
Matter.
not.
Watch this.
I'm
Ready?
sure you can, and I'm not. I don't give a shit. I'm not taking the tomahawk steak back to my fucking seat.
At La Frida Paninis. It's called the double header.
That's awesome.
It's a burger, smash hot dog, American cheese, relish, ballpark mayo on a rustic roll. Peep that shit. Ultimate
They also
grilled
added
cheese.
Zeppelis.
Yeah. The ultimate grilled cheese.
Baseball game.
Right?
Awesome.
The ultimate what?
We're all fucking over you.
Yeah, bro, it's insane. The ultimate grilled cheese, provolone American cheese with pimento spread and a pinwheel flatbread with tomato fondue. Where the fuck do you get that in the Bronx?
Jesus Christ. They do have some of the most creative food I've seen. I remember when we did like the foods around the ballparks a few episodes, well, not a few, decent amount of episodes back. And I think it was like the saving grace for like what was it? Like St. Louis was like the most basic shit ever.
Oh yeah, St. Louis was
I don't remember. You're full of shit.
Wasn't it?
Listen, at least it's not like Skyline chili.
Yeah, that was the Cincinnati Skyline chili. It sucks.
I've never had it, but I just assume it's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard.
Dude, Gyro Jimmy's Greek Grill. They have gyros at the fucking ballpark now.
Terrible to eat in your seat, but I love Euros
Agreed.
so much that I would get.
And now, Dylan, this is for you. The Walk-Off Cafe. Cookie bucket. Soft bake house warm chocolate chip cookies and assorted milks and syrups.
Okay, I love that, but I'm also not trying to eat warm fucking cookies on a hot summer day, baby.
What if it's a cold October night in the playoffs?
All right, that makes sense. That makes
got you there.
Okay. I'm just thinking.
All right, you guys won't get there anyway.
I have a hot vat of cookies in my lap.
Oh, and last but not least, obviously, you know Adam Richman. You're a big foodie.
Yeah.
Adam Richman's Burger Hall of Fame. 6-ounce taco spiced Pat LaFrida burger with chipotle crema, Mexican cheese, spicy guac, tortilla chips, roasted salsa served on a pan de agua roll.
See, my fat ass wanted to be like, what's the fat ratio in the burger? What are they using as the ground? I'm sorry.
Pat LaFrida is filet mignon, bro.
There's no way that's a filet mignon burger.
Pat LaFrida is all filet mignon.
There's no way they're doing a filet mignon.
Pat LaFrida is filet mignon, bro.
Okay, the logistics don't make any sense. They're not doing.
You don't make no sense. Your Yankees are giving you a chicken fucking finger bowl on top of a fucking cup of soda for $17.
Their chicken fingers are good, all right. That the prices make no sense. I will agree with that, but
I'd rather get one Heineken for $18 at Yankee Stadium than pay $17 for the chicken with the soda.
That makes no sense.
I'd
That
rather starve.
economically, that makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
All right. Anyway,
And beer prices are going up at
All right.
both stadiums.
where
All
do you,
right, guys.
before we go off of baseball, where do you think you guys end the season at? Like in the hierarchy of the NL?
NL East champs.
Pennant, baby.
Okay,
Champs.
love it.
Pennant champs.
NL pennant. We're going to the World Series this year.
World Series. I don't give a fuck.
That
There's no
fucking-
fucking playing anymore.
The Dodgers also just signed 3 more Japanese players. So
Yeah. Mitsubishi, Toyota, and Honda
Wait,
Civic. I don't want to hear this shit no more.
Where did the Giants? God, I'm switching already. Where did the Yankees end up? Dylan, that's
anyway,
your
on
question.
to football.
You're not gonna answer about the Yankees? Come on.
I don't.
What? Give me a wild card. Come on.
I still think we could win the division. I don't know why. I don't have a legitimate reasoning. I just think that we'll do it again.
I mean, dude, they're in it. You know, it's not like they're so far off.
The thing is that like all the
They're
pieces
probably
we
still
added,
the favorite.
all the pieces we added and whatnot, it's huge hit or misses.
A lot of what ifs.
If we hit on Bellinger, Goldschmidt, whoever else, if our pitchers step up, some of the newer guys, we can have a pretty decent fucking season. If they don't, we are one of the worst teams in the AL. I think it's literally boom or bust.
Listen, Bellinger's on my fantasy team, so he better be good this year.
I loved the Belly signing. So that
One of my buddies told me, give me 4 players that are going to hit home runs on opening day weekend, so he could bet on them. And I told him Ellie De La Cruz, Juan Soto, Cody Bellinger, and Alex Bregman. Done.
I like the last 2, honestly.
yeah,
Done.
fuck with that.
Done.
Yeah. I might do those bets too.
I think you should, because it's a good payout.
You know what we should do? Let's
Move on to the
ride.
football.
Giants
What did you
Nation,
just say?
let's ride.
Just blank out the 1. That's what we got right here.
Oh my god, yeah. So the Giants signed 2 very controversial quarterbacks in the last week and change. Yeah, they're eating W's and they're riding out into the sunset. Yeah, Russell Wilson and fucking Jameis Winston are your quarterbacks. Maddie, how you feel about that, buddy?
Honestly, I'll take it over Rodgers at this point. He was pissing me off.
He's tired of the Winston Wilson slander. He's done with it.
There's no slander.
I'm not. There's plenty of that slander to go around. But I will say that the Giants are probably better than they were a couple days ago because the quarterback play last year was just fucking abysmal.
Wilson is a weird signing, though, in my opinion.
Why, though?
Because nobody wanted him. He says he chose the Giants. I don't think he had any choice.
Cleveland was talking to him.
The word coming out is that Seattle, they were like, yeah, no, we got him out of here because he was done physically. And you see that.
He had a good year last year, man.
Yeah. He fell apart at the end of the season.
Fair, yes. But also, you got to keep in mind, if this team wins 7 games next year, it's a way better season. If they go 500, that's a huge victory right there.
Before any of this, and it still might be the case, they were rated for 3.5 wins, I think, was the over-under?
I believe it went up to 4.5 after the signing on ESPN Bet, yeah.
Wilson's worth a dub.
But also, for some reason, people are saying that, this shows that they're not going to draft a quarterback in the draft. Why?
I don't think they should.
signed a guy to a 1-year deal to play this year. Why would that stop? If they thought Shadir Sanders is the franchise quarterback that they're looking for, why would that stop them?
All signs point to that they don't think that, though, from everything I hear. But my whole thing is
I'm hearing different things.
Go get generational talent, best player available at 3, because it's gonna be one of the greatest players we've seen in a while in Hunter or Big Dude.
Graham.
Come on, no, Carter.
It's funny. It's funny you say that because I was looking at the draft order. Chris, can you pull up the draft order? Because I'm doing this on my phone. After the Giants, if the Giants don't take Sanders, he's going to slide a lot.
Yeah.
Unless somebody trades up for him.
I can see the
After
Jets.
the Giants,
I can see the Jets taking
Patriots
him.
and Jaguars.
If he gets all the way to 7, I can see the Jets taking him.
This is what I'm seeing right now. Cam Ward goes 1. Abdul Carter goes to the Browns.
Which I
Shador
think
Sanders
is going to be
goes
the
to
pick, by the way.
I think they're going to trade it.
Shador Sanders goes to the Giants. Travis Hunter goes to New England.
No,
Mason Graham.
I just need
goes-
to know the teams because I
okay,
want to see how much he can slide.
So you got Tennessee, Cleveland, Giants, New
After the
England,
Giants.
Jacksonville.
Neither of those teams are drafting a quarterback.
Even though
Vegas?
the Jacksonville should fucking consider it.
Jacksonville,
Agreed, but
Vegas,
they pay him
Jets,
$55 million
Panthers.
a year. None of those teams are drafting quarterbacks. I don't think. I really don't. I really think the Jets are set on not picking a quarterback this year.
I think
And
the
if they
Jets,
do, it would be like a second round developmental guy.
I was going to say in the first round, I agree with you. I
Yeah.
think that they get.
I think they're dead set on just improving their roster.
I think they get a second round guy. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think I can honestly see the Jets going Will Campbell.
Okay. Yeah.
I could see
Or
the Jets
Membu.
either going Will Campbell or Membu, just to or Armand Membu, just to boost up their O line. Obviously,
Yeah. I think that's the way they're going to go. It's not going to be a sexy pick, but I
It's
think that's
right.
exactly what
but
they're
I'm
going to
but
do.
I'm also seeing Tyler Warren for some fucking reason.
I do not think they should do that. Don't draft
That's
a
a
tight end.
terrible
early.
idea.
This is
Yeah,
last
he's
year
not
all
Brock
over again.
Bowers. I'm sorry.
It's last year all over again. I think that it's got to be alignment in no other position.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I agree
our
with that.
defensive line next to Quinnen was dog shit, and that's why we
Yeah.
got gashed time and time again by the run.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, on the offense, I think you should always be.
O line is dog shit.
Yeah.
I don't know about dog shit, but I think that
No,
you
they were
should
good.
always be trying to up your offensive line because
Absolutely.
if you give
Yeah.
if you give Justin Fields a good enough O line, I feel like this team could be a playoff team.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's an
Who's after the Panthers?
After the Panthers, you got New Orleans.
I'm curious
Nah.
to see who the fucking Panthers what route they go.
The
Yeah,
Panthers
New
are
Orleans is probably one of the teams I would say might draft Shador if he's there.
They'll go quarterback for sure.
New Orleans is
trade
projected to pick Will Johnson, and the Panthers are projected to pick Jalen Walker, linebacker out of Georgia.
Good pick. Who's after? Who? Keep going.
We got Chicago, who they're targeting Armand Membu, which I like.
Not going
And
to
then you
draft a
got
quarterback.
Where do you
and
think?
then you got San
Denver-
Fran, San Fran's not going to draft a
Not going to
quarterback.
draft a quarterback. So what are we at? We're at 12 already.
11. This is 11. Broncos are
Yeah.
at 12.
But I don't think any of this. If you're talking, if everybody stays, yes. But I almost
Of course.
I feel like I guarantee that you don't think the
He's going to
Raiders.
slide if the Giants don't pick him, man.
I think he slides past the Raiders.
And then what?
The Raiders
No.
got-
Yes.
the
I don't
Raiders
think
got-
the Raiders want. Dude, the Raiders want to win now. They have Pete
Raiders got
Carroll,
Geno Smith, right?
Geno Smith, and also, by the way,
Never mind.
Geno Smith and Shador Sanders, same quarterback.
Effectively,
They're the same.
Yeah.
Name one thing they do differently. Nothing.
I think Shador has a better deep ball, maybe.
Shador has better sneakers.
Yeah.
About it.
Yeah. There you go. That's what he
That's
does
about it.
better.
Do you think?
Which, by the way, if he turns out to be Geno Smith, not the first half of his career, second half Geno Smith,
that.
I'll take that.
Take that, yeah.
Yeah, not
Thanks,
Jets
Matt.
Geno Smith.
Thanks. I appreciate that one.
Definitely not Jets Geno Smith because we damn near ruined him.
But
No,
honestly, man, I
the,
think the Giants are going to be much better next year.
I think the Saints would go for it for sure.
Unfortunately,
yeah, the Saints are the
Jets,
only team that I'm worried about in that top 12 that I would be like they would probably do it. And then after that, man, he's probably making it all the way to the Steelers. 'Cause every other team in that teens has a quarterback. So my question is, if he gets to 19, if you're the Giants, do you trade up to 19? You're going to have to give up something significant to get there from the second round, but they're the second pick in the second round.
I think you'd pay the New York tax because the team who you're trading with knows you're going for Shador at that point.
Right.
Yeah. So I think
but it's going to be less than trading up to one.
Oh yeah, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth
it too.
If you
If you can leave that draft with either Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter and Shador Sanders, that is a steal.
Yeah, that'd be insane. Actually,
that would be insane.
That
might secure Shane his job for at least another extra year.
Yes, absolutely.
I think you get
Giants. The Giants have the 34th pick, right?
Yeah.
In the second round.
Yeah. They also have an extra third round pick, so they could trade a third round pick with it and still have their third round pick.
I would love to see just dynamic wise Shador with Mike Tomlin Like I feel like that would be a solid pairing. Or unless the Steelers take that as, hey, we've been thinking about getting out of Tomlin for a while. If we get Shador, we bring Prime in.
Yo, Prime in Pittsburgh would be crazy.
I could see it happening, honestly.
Prime in
Can
Pittsburgh.
we just say he's not that good of a coach?
He's a motivator and he's a recruiter.
Yeah, I feel like he's just an influencer too.
You don't need to recruit in the NFL though.
No, but I'm not saying that that's something he does well.
Playing wise, even he makes a difference to how his players play. They play with a little more like pep in their step. You know?
I mean, do they? Colorado wasn't very good.
I don't think that happens in the NFL though.
Now, granted, he didn't recruit any offensive linemen to Colorado, so that's probably why they were so bad. But I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't see I just don't see it. I mean, listen, if it worked, I wouldn't be shocked because he figures that away everywhere he goes. But, you know.
Yeah.
All right,
now, let me ask you a quick question, Matt. What would you do if you guys drafted Shador and Prime goes, you know what? I don't need to be the coach. I want to be the defensive coordinator. Would you be good with that?
He's not doing that. He's not doing that.
Now, that's hypotheticals, all right? You upside down saying
that will not happen. It's not a hypothetical.
I would cry. I would stop watching the Giants, I think, because that's so bad. Honestly, Colorado had a shit defense also. You can't coach defense in college. What makes you think you can do it in the pros?
I think there's a 0.0% chance that Prime moves up to the NFL.
Prime!
It's anything but a head coaching position. I think
Agreed.
That's shot and shit.
But yeah, I agree with that. Also, I just never thought there was going to be a day where I would be rooting for Russell Wilson. Not super psyched about that part.
You don't think
that corny ass motherfucker,
Wilson or Jameis Winston, let alone both?
Dude, I was kind of hoping that Jameis Winston was our starting quarterback.
No, it'll be fun.
It would be so much fun.
Do you think that
he
should start
30-30 season again, man?
I don't think signing Russell Wilson guarantees that Jameis Winston will start at some point.
No, that's true.
Do you think Jameis Winston should start?
Who?
Do you think Winston should start?
No, not out of the gate. I mean, like, granted, go into camp and see who's better.
Yeah, do I think
Tommy Cutlets?
Some of Wilson's tape from last year, he's not bad. He makes good throws still, you know? If you set him up, and put him up to do the things he does well, then if you expect him to be Russell Wilson of 5-6 years ago, you're going to be disappointed. But if you set him up with play action and, you know, a decent offensive line, he'll do it. Dude, honestly, his job's not that hard. Just throw it anywhere near Malik Neighbors and he'll catch it.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
Who cares?
And maybe Travis Hunter too.
I hope not. I really don't want Hunter.
You never know.
Why?
I'm in like the very much minority of that. I don't like Travis Hunter.
You're a minority? Holy shit! I don't know.
I lean more with you, Matt. That like I don't think he's this like generational talent that everybody keeps quoting and saying. I think he's extremely good, but I don't know.
Yeah.
If it was me, I'd rather put my stock behind a Carter or a Graham.
Dude. If Abdul Carter is there at 3, give me Abdul Carter every single day. Every single time. That guy is
you stack him with
special talent.
Thibodeau, Dex, Burns. That's the nastiest defensive line I've seen in a while.
Dude, who cares what's going on at quarterback? Nobody will score any points.
Yep.
You know? You'll be losing games 3-0, but it'll be fun.
Yep. It'll just be like a wall of just constant pressure.
Dude,
it'll be ridiculous.
That with our new revamped secondary, good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen. We could.
Also, I have to say,
wouldas.
Yeah.
And
it's very weird how quiet the Jets are right now.
Yeah, it scares the shit out of me because I think they're going to end up getting
quiet
Jackson Dart.
in a good way, though.
I think they're going to end up getting Jackson Dart.
In a second. Which, by the way, bold take. I think Jackson Dart is getting drafted in the top 10.
I think so too.
And I think it's a terrible idea. And I don't think it's going to be the Jets. I think it's going to be the Saints.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I like kind of what the Jets are doing. It's like they did what they felt they needed to, and they're not really. They reached on one free agent, but what?
Who?
The oh god, now I'm forgetting his name.
Engelbert Humperdinck. I told you already.
Yeah, there we go. Hold on.
Position?
Who the guy that we freaking signed the DB was it?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember his name either.
I'm drawing such a blank right now. While I'm
No,
trying.
man, I feel like they did what they had to do. They did it quietly. There's really no leaks. There's been no drama. It's got to be a little refreshing as a Jets fan, no?
Yeah, I mean, I like that they are taking. It seems to be a calculated approach, but Brandon Stevens. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Three for 36 is a touch high for him because he was the weak point of their secondary. But yeah, I like.
You got to remember though too, with secondaries and corners, it's so specific to the scheme. Like you have guys that are could be the best cornerback in the league in a zone system, and then you put them in a man-to-man system, and they're fucking lost. That's what happened with Tay Banks on the Giants. They were playing a lot of zone, or vice versa. I forget which one it is, but he was being asked to play a lot of man, and he's not good at playing man. He got exposed.
Yeah.
So it's all scheme.
Yeah. Yeah, he may flourish here. Maybe that's what they see, and that's why they gave him so much. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
They wanted to make sure they got him, maybe. I don't know.
You
got to also remember that the Jets are a little bit of a dumpster fire, and you might need to pay guys a little bit more to be able to get them here. It's same thing with the Giants right now.
I also don't think that this free agent class was that crazy.
No,
so I don't think
there's a lot of good players. No, not a lot of great players.
I don't think you needed to go nuts. I think you shored up, some positions, and you solidified the roster a little bit more. So I like them. They're smart, sound decisions, which we don't typically see from the Jets over time.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it, and I'm very curious to see who they take in the draft because I feel like that'll really show us what this regime is about. I feel
what direction they're going in.
Yeah, right? that'll show us how their brains work.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And if we should start drinking now, or wait till maybe mid-season, maybe week 6.
Well, if you think about it, every regime that's come in, they've made a splash almost right away.
Yeah.
And they've done nothing, not nothing, but they've
usually a splash.
Smart choices.
Everybody is criticized. So this team, they made a splash with Fields, but it made total sense. They got him for a decent enough price considering his age, and you can get out of that deal fairly simply. You could get out of it if you wanted to.
2 years is nothing.
It's one of those things where it's like, if it works out, you guys look like fucking geniuses. If not, then all right, you didn't really.
He was a bridge guy.
You didn't give up anything, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta say I'm really surprised with how they're conducting their off season.
Yeah.
Also, I'm very much prepared for the Azeez Ojulari Eagles 12 sack season that's coming up. So
that's the trend that the teams, the players that leave New York, they ball the hell out when they leave. So.
Yeah, they seem to.
Yeah. All right, I'm tired, Chris. We can talk all the other stuff and maybe in between episode or something like that. But
I know I am too. I just love how you just went about that. You were like, I'm tired, Chris. We'll just talk about the stuff with the thing, ice, slushies, fucking Rangers, whatever.
We'll bring Shawnee in to talk hockey because he wants to still tell us that the Rangers have a fighting chance, and I want to tell him to go fuck himself. So
they don't.
No, they don't. They haven't had a shot for a month plus, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go St. John's next season.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Patino effect, boys. I hear.
We got big things coming. Yeah, the Mets and the basketball giants. That's right, Matt.
The Mets and the basketball giants.
Oh man. All right.
This is Odell Beckham, man. This is Odell Beckham jersey.
Yeah, because that went so fucking well.
It did for a while.
I don't know if
one catch right here.
Dude, like he was electric. Don't ever downplay how good Odell was when he was in New York.
He was fucking washed after the ACL.
Yeah, that was way after he was out in New York.
No, I know.
Yeah, that was Rams. That was Rams Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that's the one time where the player left New York and got worse.
Yeah, he's also probably not a good person. From
I mean, he's on the Diddy file, so yeah, he's not.
Yeah,
God.
Yeah, honestly, everything kind of adds up. He's probably not the best guy, so maybe I should get that name off the back. This is a Jalen Hyatt basketball jersey.
Oh, before we go, do you think that Russell Wilson or Winston unlocks Hyatt?
Dude, Wilson already reached out to him.
I think
You saw
Wilson. Well, the one thing Wilson has left is that he throws a beautiful rainbow,
Beautiful.
right in the breadbasket kind of throw.
Yeah.
And that would be all Jalen Hyatt needs. Like, all right, give me a fucking 20-yard burst. I'll drop it right in there for you.
Dude, I fucking hope so, because I really liked that pick, and it's just become nothing.
Oh, it was nothing, then it got ugly, then it became nothing again.
Yeah, he's done that. I honestly, I don't even know if he has more than like 20 catches in his career.
That's insane. They've refused to throw him the ball for a hot second.
He doesn't get open that much. I don't know if they, to be fair, I think they weren't designing those plays because nobody on the team could throw them.
Yeah, no,
Right.
that was a thing last season, the season before, where like they legitimately had like I think it was like 3 plays designed for him to actually contribute.
Yeah.
Rest he was like effectively a decoy, you could say. But
Yeah.
anyway, this is the Any Sports Podcast. I'm fucking tired. This is Chris and Matt and I'm Dylan, and I'm gonna get out of here.
All right, boys, take it easy.
See
Stay
ya.
breezy.
Chris and Dylan on the mic, straight from Queens Truth. Podcast game strong, Jets, Knicks, Rangers, Murph, Mets and Yankees, dream Bronx to Shea. In the city that never sleeps, sports don't play. NY faithful, we're repping our teams. Jets fly high and I've got no dreams. From courts to fields, can't walk away. Queens talk sports each and every day. Chopped cheese breakfast, bagels by noon. Pizza slice nights over New York tune. Game stats fly while the meatball simmers. Chris with the takes, Dylan drops singers. Microphones buzzing like city lights. From Knicks brick shots to Rangers fights. Taste of NYC in every fight. Chris and Dylan, sports, talk, ignite. NY faithful, we're repping our teams.